A good day to everyone. I'm Krishna Rashmi from Group 3. My group had select solar cars as the title. Now I'm gonna explain about how the solar energy converts into electrical energy. What is solar cars? Solar car is a solar vehicle that used for land transport. These cars usually run on only power from sun, but some models of cars will supplement that power using a battery or solar panels to recharge the batteries. Solar cars usually combine technology typically used in automotive industries, aerospace and others. Solar cars will function with solar arrays. This solar array uses photovoltaic cells, also known as PV cells, will convert sunlight into electricity. PV cells helps the solar to directly convert sunlight into electricity. In more details, when sunlight strikes PV cells, they excite electrons. It will allow them to flow and create electric current. From this, the electric current makes the engine of the car works. And additional information, PV cells are made of semiconductor materials such as silicon and alloy of indium, gallium and nitrogen. Crystalline silicon is used widely for the solar cars because it has the higher efficiency. This is how the solar energy converts to electrical energy in the solar cars. This picture shows that the sketch of the path of electricity generated through the solar energy to the battery. It can be stored in the battery and finally to motor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abuzar bin Idris, student ID MH19043. Today I will explain about power tracker, which convert the output of solar cell into proper voltage to be used by batteries. For the introduction, a power tracker converts the output of solar cell into proper voltage to be used by batteries to drive the motor. The output of the power tracker is connected to the batteries, where the power can be stored for the motor controller. The batteries in solar cars are used instead of fuel tanks in a conventional car. The battery stores the incoming solar energy in a chemical form when the motor of the solar car is not running. In the absence of power tracker, the DC motor system will result in poor performance. The function of the power trackers which convert solar arrays voltage to the system voltage are vital in solar cars. The power is automatically adjusted to match system voltage when the car drives under the shade, allowing the system to run as efficiently as possible. Working principle for power tracker. A power tracker converts the output of solar cell into proper voltage to be used by batteries to drive the motor. This is achieved by using a chip called sensor in the MPPT to continuously measure the output voltage of the solar cell, comparing it with the fixed battery voltage, and then determining the best voltage to charge the battery. This enables the energy from the solar cell to achieve efficiency greater than 92%. The output of the power tracker is connected to the batteries, where the power can be stored for the motor controller. So this is the diagram of how the power tracker works. What is MPPT controller? The MPPT is a method to let the controller operate at the optimum operating point. A maximum power point tracker is a specific kind of charge controller that utilizes the solar panel to its maximum potential. The MPPT compensates for the changing voltage against current characteristic of a solar cell. The MPPT monitors the output voltage and current from the solar panel and determines the operating point that will deliver that maximum amount of power available to the battery or load. The benefit of MPPT regulators are greatest during cold weather, on cloudy or hazy days, or when the battery is deeply discharged. Safety features. There are several safety features for the power tracker. Number 1, motor controllers have become an essential electronic component of hybrid and electric cars by virtue of switching large amount of current at high speed without any moving part. Second, in order to keep the output of the solar cell constant and high, maximum power point trackers are often used in most successful solar cars. A power tracker will also regulate the amount of electricity provided by the battery system to prevent them from being damaged. So this is an overview on how solar car works. From the energy of the sun to solar panel and go to power tracker. That's all for me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Razik bin Azli, matric card MH19042. I'm gonna explain about batteries to store power. Okay, first of all, for the introduction, batteries in solar cars are used instead of fuel tanks in a conventional car. As we know, the conventional car use petrol to move the car, while the solar car use battery. The battery stores the incoming solar energy in a chemical form when the motor of the solar car is not running. Batteries provide stable power to the DC motors, and as a result, the motors will work most efficient as there are no interruption in the amount of power supply. The power of the battery is also needed to store energy for the nighttime or cloudy day operation. This is the diagram for the solar car. The solar panel accept the energy from the sun, then go to the peak power tracker. The peak power tracker will store the energy in the battery pack. The battery pack will move to the motor controller, or the motor controller will spin the motor to move the car. Okay, there are many types of battery. Different type of batteries such as lead acid battery, nickel cadmium battery, nickel metal hydride battery, lithium ion battery, and lithium polymer battery can be used for solar car. Okay, for the most commonly used battery are made from lead acid, lithium ion, and nickel cadmium. The commonly acid battery of the type used in the average family car are too heavy, while others are lightweight and more efficient but are expensive. For the solar power cars, normally operate in batteries that range from 80 to 170 volt. This is the diagram about three types of a battery: the lead acid battery, the lithium battery, and the saltwater battery. As we know, the lead acid need the least cost to buy the battery, but the lifespan is not longer like the lithium, but the lithium is more cost. Okay, what if there is no sunlight? If there is no sunlight like in the night and on a cloudy day, the emergency batteries will be used to run a solar car. Another way for getting the battery recharged so as to return a solar car when there is no sunlight is by recharging the batteries from the sun station when the energy from the sun is stored for future use. Okay, this is the diagram for the sun, for the sun station. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day everyone. My name is Ahmad Hamzah Alif bin Rosazwan, student ID MH19028. So, moving on to the next point of solar car is motor controller, which adjusts the power input to the motor. As an introduction, a motor controller is basically the brain of solar vehicle. It controls the performance of the motor. Motor controller integrates motor speed and battery range. Next, the function of motor controller is designed to convert the electrical energy obtained from the batteries and solar array to suitable power waveform to drive the motor. The working principle of motor controller is designed to drive a permanent magnet brushless DC (PM-BLDC) motor. A smart and powerful microprocessor used in the motor controller, which undertake the very complex calculation to give efficient driving performance. At the diagram, we'll see that many processors include at the motor controller. Motor controller also will receive back energy from the motor to recharge it again as vehicle slow down. The process is known as regenerating braking. It will boost the range of the vehicle so that the solar car will travel more kilometers. So, how the accelerator and motor are connected to each other? How do they communicate? The answer is accelerator act like variable resistance. As you push the accelerator, the resistance of the unit change. So, the voltage also change, which is sensed by motor controller. This will trigger the motor speed and torque. Motor controller also has safety features. It is act as current limiter for the motor. The motor controller have programmable peak and continuous current rating. The function is to avoid overcurrent flow through the motor. The effect of overcurrent is temperature increase and efficiency of the electrical circuit also decrease. So, the solar vehicle performance will drop.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Mikael Oman bin Azul Hisham and I'm from course Introduction to Automotive BMA2312. So my project, we choose the title Solar Car. So for the point that I will elaborate today is an electric motor which drive the vehicle. So for introduction, an electric motor is an electrical machine that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Electric motors can be powered by a direct current DC sources such as from batteries, motor vehicles or rectifiers, or by alternating current AC sources such as a power grid, inverters or electrical generators. So for a common motor used in vehicle is brushless DC electric motor, also known as electronically commutated motor and synchronous DC motors. Synchronous motors powered by direct current DC electricity via an inverter or switching power supply, which produce electricity in the form of alternating current AC to drive each phase of the motor via closed-loop controller. The controller provides a pulse of current to the motor windings that control the speed and torque of the motor. This control system replaces the commutator brushes used in many conventional electric motors. The advantages of brushless motor over brush motors are high power to weight ratio, high speed electronic control and low maintenance. Brushless motors find application in such places as computer peripherals, disk driver and printers, handheld power tools and vehicle ranging from model aircraft to automobiles. In modern washing machines, brushless DC motors have allowed replacement of rubber belts and gearboxes by direct drive design. So for the application of the motor is we can use for transport, cordless tools, heating and ventilation, industrial engineering, and lastly motion control system. So that's all for me. Thank you.